Daniel,
Brandon.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Oh, I am excited to hear it.
I think this is probably one that's just 100% true, and I've never bothered to look it up, so perhaps Donald can do this. You know, we had our episode before, and I occasionally watch for conspiracy theories that are a little more lighthearted, a little, this is one of my own that I've had for many years, and I've just never bothered to look. But
Okay.
I was reminded of it as we spoke about last week. I have been given steroids to make my one of my nose holes open up.
Yeah.
And so I took those today. The doctor said, take them in the morning, which for me is like, 1 p.m. Because they might, make you stay up. You don't want to take them at night. And they were the most foul tasting things. Most foul tasting pill I've ever had.
Really?
Right? Just completely awful. And it's weird because I also got antibiotics and been on those for a while. No flavor to them at all, right? Even though they're like the chalky pills, not the capsules.
Yeah.
And so my conspiracy theory is that they put gross tasting stuff intentionally in certain pills because those might be more harmful to children if they get a hold of them. Like antibiotics are probably not going to do anything to a kid. Claritin has no flavor. Well, again, an antihistamine, not dangerous to eat, but a steroid, I mean, we don't want little kids walking around speaking Austrian accents with giant muscles. And so, so my theory is that there is just, some regulatory group that's like, put the foul tasting stuff in this one.
Make this one gross.
Make this one gross. Have you ever wondered if that's the case?
I haven't. So, for example, at night, my nighttime pills are I take 2 buspirone and I take 2 trazodone. The buspirone taste incredibly foul, and the trazodone don't.
Yeah. Trazodone's a muscle relaxant, probably not as dangerous of a sleep med as others might be.
Probably not.
I don't know what the other one is.
That's a depression one.
Depression one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So my theory could hold based on those. Trazodone. My son takes trazodone. It wipes him out. Like, it's so hard to get him up in the mornings.
It's so hard to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I tried, because, insomnia, I tried trazodone and I was useless the next day. I'm like, I can't, I'm more useless than if I had not gotten any sleep.
Yeah.
And so I commend you for suffering through trazodone.
Well, the one that you had recommended, Dayvigo, is crazy expensive because my insurance won't cover it.
Mine won't either, but you can get these like weird little coupons, and we just keep getting the coupons over and over again.
Okay.
Obviously, Dayvigo itself doesn't care if they sell them cheap because they're trying to get insurances to cover them. So until then, they want people using them and complaining to the insurance that they can't,
Yeah.
And so mine it's like $30 a month, which is more expensive than some meds,
but still way cheaper than.
Did you ever try one of them?
No, I was never able to get them. The pharmacy won't even give them to me. They're like, these are. They want to sell them at like $50 a pill.
Yeah. You got to go try, or like Dayvigo has on their own website, like here, download a coupon, use the coupon. Scar knows how to do it because he fills my
He's your
prescriptions for me.
supplier. He's your pusher.
No, he's my receiver. The pharmacy is the pusher. My assistants all do this because I'm not up in the times when pharmacies are open. I'm either working or asleep. But yeah, you ought to try that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Donald, have you been able to find any corroborating evidence?
So, according to the ACS, the American Chemical Society, most of the chemicals in medication, I'm just all over the place, medications are derived from plants and are therefore inherently bitter. Drugs are also formulated containing as few additives as possible. So, its flavoring is low on the priority list.
It's totally a valid conspiracy theory. I think they are not being...
That they're not being fully honest?
Fully honest, because then people will be like, I want the ones that aren't bitter. And they'd be like, well, this is here to save children's lives. We're not going to give you the ones that aren't bitter. We'll just pretend that it's not a question, that it's just natural, and things like that. That is I am glad that I'm not immediately proven right. Because
Okay.
it can remain a
Then
conspiracy
it can
theory.
still be a mystery.
Now, Brandon, if this helps for what it's worth, Nintendo, this is my favorite fact of all time. The cartridges for Switch games, have a purposeful bad taste that they like spray onto them or add to stop kids from eating them. They will, if you ever lick, for whatever reason, a Nintendo Switch cartridge, they're gross. More gross than usual.
Everyone
More
out there,
evidence.
go out and lick a Nintendo Switch cartridge and let us know in the comments how it tastes.
Have I ever told you what Isaac's life dream is to lick a Van Gogh?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is our VP of art. Licking a Van Gogh, probably a bad idea. Licking a Nintendo cartridge, apparently,
Yeah.
we're encouraging it.
Maybe don't lick the metal part because that might screw it up. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
I have done a lot of inadvertent tasting of Nintendo cartridges because I lived during the area where you had to
blow on them?
blow on, which apparently is not actually a thing. It was an urban legend. But I did a lot of blowing on my Nintendo cartridges to try to get them to work as my original NES started to fail.
Yeah.
And so
There you go.
There you go.
speaking of things that we eat. Oh wait,
We have several things
we'll
we
get
need
to it.
to get to.
Yes.
First, I need to shout out my daughter.
okay.
She texted me and said, "Mom told me to tell you that you have to talk about me on your podcast." And so I went to my wife and I said, "Did you really say this?" And she said, "No." She texted me to ask me to remind you to talk about her. So she just really wants me to talk about her on the podcast. Oh, excuse me. She just got into a PhD program,
Studying what?
neuroscience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe she can find out for us about the drugs thing. I know neuroscience is not completely analogous, but she'll be an insider.
It's my other daughter who's a pharmacy tech.
Oh, see?
She might know.
Between the two of them, they can be our agents to find out the real truth, that they're adding bad tasting stuff to the drugs they don't want. They're super dangerous to kids.
So, yeah.
Secretly, there is something good happening in the pharmaceutical industry, which is not, it would spoil their reputation for being absolute monsters.
Yeah, it would.
So,
ruin everything.
Yeah.
No wonder they don't want it getting out. So, yeah, we'll shout out to Audrey. Congratulations on PhD school.
Yep.
And we'll shout out my other daughter, Morgan, because she's at a very conservative college. And she texted me yesterday, very excited to say that she found a liberal.
Oh, wow.
So now she
Spotted
has a friend.
in the wild, eh?
Yeah.
There's a famous Bloom County comic from the 80s, kind of the same way, because it was during the Reagan era where there were very liberals were seen as more rare. And I still remember it like, the guy's out hunting in the field and he yells out, "Socialized medicine," and one pops up and so he shoots him. Good old Bloom County. I miss Bloom County.
I love Bloom County.
Yep.
All right. I have a food heist.
Okay.
And I know we're going to talk about snack foods today.
Yep.
So we're starting with the bougiest snack food of all, which is oysters.
Which is a snack food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever read the book? What's it called? It's called The Big Oyster. There was a
have not read
nonfiction
called
book that went around, and it was about how New York was kind of built on oysters as its like shipping food. And it was like oysters were a cheap
Yeah, they were
plebeian
the
food
poor people food.
for a long time until like things changed and New Yorkers started eating them, and suddenly it became a high class food. To now, the Oyster Bar is one of the more famous restaurants in New York. So the one right in Grand Central.
Yeah, so this happened last month in Australia, in Queensland. The Bulimba Oyster Company, somebody sneaked in and stole 600 dozen mature oysters.
Okay.
And it says worth about $12,000. That feels like a crazy lowball. That's like $20 a dozen.
Yeah.
And at least here in Utah, you cannot get oysters as cheap as that.
Where was this again?
This was in Australia.
Australia. Yeah, I don't know how much, how the exchange rate between dollary dues and dollars is right now.
Yeah. So anyway, stealing 600 dozen would take several people and a lot of time. So this was definitely a heist, and not just a theft. So
Hey,
congratulations to them.
oyster hoisters.
The oyster hoisters.
Yeah, they hoisted some
love
oysters.
it. I love it.
That one, that nice little rhythm
you should be proud of that one.
to the oyster hoisters.
Oyster hoisters.
Yes. In Australia, we haven't had food heists from Australia yet, have we?
We've had some New Zealand,
Uh-huh.
but I think this might be our first Australia.
So they must have their own food heist prison. I mean, you're not
I
going to
assume.
send people to, American food heist prison when you could keep them in Australia.
Or is there just an international
Food heist prison. That's right.
Where everybody goes.
Yeah, that could be the case.
At Point Nemo.
Yeah. You got to keep those food heisters away. Maybe they visited me because, like, earlier in the week, a package of Tim Tams appeared in in my pantry, and I have no idea. Like, Tim Tams.
Tim Tams, is that British?
No, that's Australian.
That's Australian.
Yeah, they're not a thing you find in stores here.
No, you can't buy Tim Tams.
Yeah,
in Utah.
and I'm like, what? How are there Tim Tams
You've been reverse food heisted.
I've been Inception food heisted.
You've been food inceptioned.
Food Inception, and they were just there. So I ate some of them.
Okay.
And they were very tasty. I like me a good Tim Tam, but I'm like, this is unusual. They're just Tim Tams are appearing in people's larders, apparently.
How sharp is the line beyond which you won't eat a random thing you find?
I mean, if it's in the pantry in the snack bin,
Yeah.
I feel like that's very,
okay.
very safe.
If it's somewhere in your house, you find Tim Tams just like on the couch.
Yeah, I would eat one if it were open.
Okay.
If it were open, I would eat one. It depends. If it's like one of my kids' favorite foods, I probably won't, because it'll be like, oh, they got this. They probably got this as a special treat or something.
Yeah.
Or if it's like Halloween time where it's like you don't want to take your kids' candy or something like that. So if I feel like it's like a treat that it was likely bought for the family or something, I will try it.
Okay. What if you find it on your porch?
On my porch. Well, I don't know if this is what happens with your neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, people leave food on people's porches all the time.
Really?
Yeah, particularly in the holidays. Like, I live in a community, there's like 20 or 30 of us that all decide they want to give a gift to everyone else. So you get like 30 things on your porch across a 2-week span.
Okay.
And most of them are treats. Emily insists on giving she's like, I want to give something useful. Everyone has too many treats. So she gave out hand soap.
Okay.
Because everyone needs more hand soap for their bathrooms and things. And then the next year, everyone gave hand soap, and she's like, they stole my idea. I was unique. She got frustrated by that.
Okay. So what about off season? You find Tim Tams on your porch in like July.
If I find Tim Tams on my porch, I mean, the chances I'm going to eat those Tim Tams were pretty high. They're going to plummet now that I'm speaking out to 50,000 people to put the idea in their head of leaving things on my porch.
Okay.
So don't leave things on my porch.
Yeah.
Unless you are my neighbor who is,
What about your lawn?
Okay, I would say probably that's where our line hits.
That's where the line gets
I don't
drawn.
know. Are the Tim Tams, are they still sealed in their package?
They're still sealed in a package.
Still sealed in the package. And they're just in a package on my lawn.
This is the same package that I presume you found in your pantry, except this time you find it on your lawn.
On my lawn. Well, the one in my pantry was already open. So
okay.
Somebody had a Tim Tam, but I'm going to assume that in this case it's not. Boy, I'm going to say that's where I probably won't.
Okay.
What about you? Would you eat that package Tim Tams?
Found on the lawn?
Found on the lawn.
I don't think so.
Yeah?
No.
Mm.
But I think you're right. Porch might be the border. It's not a fuzzy border. It's a pretty hard line.
Porch is the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and there's other lines. Like, you say I just find it on the couch. Yes. If I find it in my kid's room, No, because my kids' rooms are gross. And also, it's probably just theirs.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
there's a little border there. So,
Okay.
we had something else that we wanted to do.
Well, we need to give some time to Donald,
Yes.
who wants to tell us something.
Oh,
Also, I've just gotten 400 texts from my wife, so I'm going to tell her that I'm in the middle of recording.
Okay, tell us, Donald.
So as much as I want to say I'm telling, I have something tangential to what you two are already doing. Scar, I'm going to call you over here for a moment, if you will. If you will pass that over. I'm going to hand you this as well. That's for you.
We may not even get to these pretzels. We're already halfway through.
I know. Brandon.
Oh,
This
my.
is for you. And this is an additional piece to it. I'll steal your phone and move it for a moment. I'm going to return to my mic. Dan, you might remember at one point, I had given you some ding-dongs and mentioned that, Brandon, I had something on the way for you. I was able to get 2 of these. If you would both like to open those and see what's inside.
This looks like a fork made of salt.
That is a salt fork. I have found probably the only gift I will ever be able to buy you that is reasonable. That is a true salt fork. There's one dude on YouTube named Ben Walker who's made 2 videos, how to make a salt fork and how he is industrialized making salt forks. The only thing they recommend eating your salt fork with, if you wish to use it, is steak.
So you made us steaks.
Here is a knife.
That's not a steak knife.
That's the only knife at the office.
Yeah, it's a fork with tines that are several millimeters thick.
Yes.
These are not stabbing anything.
Correct.
And then what looks like a bread knife to split
Yes.
between us.
Looks like medium well-ish steak here.
That was the hope.
Did you make the steaks, Donald?
We did DoorDash these in, as much as I wish to take credit.
You DoorDashed the steaks.
Yes. My budget only goes so far as a paid unpaid intern.
Okay, so I'm seeing a problem that Dan has already ascertained. The salt fork is not terribly good at picking things up.
That's
Okay.
completely fair.
This is cold steak.
I'll take blame on that one for not being more persistent.
The salt fork is an awesome gift, but not a very functional one.
Mine, I think, is rarer than yours, so thank
That's
you
good.
for that.
You like that. Mine is about perfectly cooked for me. It's about medium plus.
I was able to jam it in far
But,
enough to...
not a big fan of cold steak.
That one could be on me.
I'm not going to have you tell me where you got this steak because it's kind of mediocre.
Okay.
And we don't want it in on air, right?
Yep.
Is yours kind of mediocre too, even if it weren't cold?
I think I'm enjoying it more than you are enjoying yours, but yeah.
I didn't have dinner though, so my body's like, ooh, you should eat this steak. But I'm like, it's kind of.
Licking the fork is delightful, though.
Oh wow, that's a lot of salt.
Right? Like, as much as we're kind of bagging on the steak, the fork itself is incredible.
Okay.
And I recommend a salt fork to everyone.
Yeah.
Plus, the more you use it, the more the tines will become sharp like a candy cane.
Exactly. But yeah, there you go. This is my gift to you, Brandon. I know
Okay.
you in your life clearly need a salt fork.
I did need a salt fork. This is. Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to break out some pretzels, Dan?
Yeah, let's eat some pretzels.
Pretzels and steak with salt forks. All right. Do you want to start normally, or do you want to go with the weirdest first?
Let's go from normal to weird.
All right. Normal, I would say the most normal is just a peppercorn ranch.
Okay.
I assume you've had like ranch flavored pretzels before. And
I
if
don't
not,
think I have ever had flavored pretzels.
haven't you?
Ever
Okay.
in my life.
So, we're gonna rate these. So let's get a couple each, and then
Okay.
where would we put these? Because peppercorn ranch. I think this was So we broke these out and my kids tried some of them. This is like a classic. You can basically put ranch on any snack food, and it's going to taste right.
Yeah.
And not too much on the peppercorn, just enough for a little hint. So,
It's good. I like it.
do you normally are pretzels a snack food for you?
Yes. Because I don't tend to eat a lot of sugar, so
Right.
the snack foods I like tend to be savory, and so pretzels are a big one. Pretzels and corn chips
So-
and stuff.
Peppercorn ranch. We're going to now place this above or beneath it. In
Okay.
our flavor choices, okay? This is yellow mustard, which is
Ooh.
like mustard is another classic pretzel.
Yeah. Classic pairing with pretzels. I like this one way more than the peppercorn
ya?
one.
I like it because it is a match to a pretzel, but I like the peppercorn ranch a lot more.
Okay.
Ranch is one of those things that I enjoy. Do you like, my kids love to dip in ranch. In fact, my youngest son, Ollie, you have fry sauce in Utah, right? Mm-hmm. Ollie went through a phase where he wanted to name everything after himself. We had a fridge that you could open the bottom portion, and he's like, 6. And so that's the portion he can reach. He called it the Ollie fridge. And he started
Okay.
putting his leftovers
In the Ollie fridge.
in the Ollie fridge. And he just kind of took it over. This is why we name him the tyrant, the little executive. And so he decided that he wanted his own sauce. And so he called it Ollie sauce, which is ranch and ketchup instead of mayo and ketchup making fry sauce.
Okay. Very good. My 9-year-old insists on making fry sauce with almost every meal. Mm-hmm. And we have been trying to get her to use ranch instead of mayo just because it'll make less of a mess because of the containers. She's not a fan.
Another pretty standard flavor for junk snack food is the garlic parmesan. Pretzels.
Garlic Parmesan.
Garlic
pretzels.
parmesan.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So this is another one that I really liked when we tried them with my kids. I'm cheating by having had some of these before. I would rank this one like equivalent to the ranch, maybe just a little higher than the ranch because it's just a little more of a unique flavor. I'm gonna put it right above ranch.
I'm going to put it above the ranch as well, but below the mustard.
Oh, you're gonna make the thing. That's good.
Yeah. I'm
good idea.
laying them out on the table,
All right,
but this represents my rankings, not yours.
let's go to cinnamon sugar. So we've got a sweet one in here.
Ooh, okay.
Cinnamon sugar. I haven't tried this one yet. And so, another classic flavor pairing, but you don't get it on pretzels. I've never had it on pretzels before.
It's delightful.
I've had it on the big soft pretzels.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose the big soft one. So, yeah, it's like mustard. It's one of those normal pretzel things.
That's really good.
That's pretty good. That's a good flavor for me. Cinnamon sugar, I love some cinnamon sugar. Surprised I didn't try that one earlier.
I need to try a ranch one again to see, because I want to
Yeah.
put everything above the ranch one, and am I really biased against it?
Well, ranch is kind of like it's a standard, but it's kind of like a bland standard, right? So I can totally see it being like, this is good, but everything else is a little more unique. I'm going to put this just below, in between yellow and ranch, but they're all good, right?
Yeah.
So these are not none of these are flavors. So we're kind of splitting between flavors that are all of these are better than a normal pretzel with nothing on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll say that. They're messier.
Messier for sure.
I'm going to put it right there,
Right
above ranch, below Parmesan.
All right, now for intentionally blank purposes, we did our hot sauce episode. Here is a hot sauce pretzel. We're getting into the more unique ones at this point. So
Okay.
I'm going to grab 3 of these, and Now that we are hot sauce experts, we have to determine. Yeah, that's a miss for me. Doesn't taste right on a pretzel to me. Donald, you want to try any of these?
Sure. I mean, I was gonna say the cinnamon sugar's calling to me.
You're welcome to come over and reach across Dan's shoulder, maybe, and grab anything you want to try.
Yeah.
What do you think on a hot sauce one, Dan? I'm trying to give it a fair shake, but I think I would eat a regular pretzel instead of a hot sauce pretzel if given the choice.
It kind of just tastes like Takis.
Like what?
Takis? Or Takis? I think they said Takis.
Talkies.
What are
Taki-
they?
They're like these long, it looks like a Dorito that got left in the flavor bin
Oh,
for
I know what
too
those
long.
are. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of just tastes like that.
Okay.
I like it, though.
Do ya? Where are you placing it?
I think I'm going to put it above cinnamon sugar.
Okay. I'm putting it bottom.
You would put it at the absolute bottom.
Absolute bottom so far. It's
Okay.
beneath. I would eat a regular pretzel instead.
Okay.
And I know I'm not going to like this one very much. I haven't even tried it, even though my kids did. This is blue cheese. I don't
It
like blue
says
cheese.
beer cheese.
Oh, does it say beer cheese?
It says
maybe,
beer cheese.
Maybe it's. I must have misread it. No, I did eat this one. Yeah, this one's good. You can have one if you want, Donald.
was
I've
gonna say, I'm gonna
I pulled
steal
one
it.
for you on this side.
I
Or you
don't
go
know.
grab one
I was
for
trying
Dan.
to see what beer cheese meant.
Okay. No, I did eat that one at first. I just misread it just now. That one's really good.
That was great.
That one is really good.
That one might be number one for me now.
I
For
agree
the
with
one that I
Brandon.
was thinking I wouldn't even like.
See, here's my question though. The beer cheese one is making me wonder this. How many of those can you get through though before it's too much?
Yeah, that's true. Like one of the things about bland regular pretzels, and that might not be a good thing, is that you just sit and eat them.
Yeah.
Right? These you might not. Like one of the reasons I like salted in the shell peanuts is for whatever reason, if I eat a handful of those, my body's like, that was a great snack and is done.
Right.
And regular junk food doesn't act that way. You give me the bag, a half hour later, I'll be like, what happened to that bag of Cheetos, right?
Yeah.
And so I try to stay further away from those. You put the beer cheese pretty high.
Yeah, it's still below mustard. That's still my favorite one. But it beats out the other cheese. It beats out the Parmesan.
Yeah, I've got it at the top because I didn't like the mustard as much as you did. All right. This could be an absolute win for you, or it could be the worst one on an offense level. Mexican street corn.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Mexican
I told
street
you one.
corn.
Thank you much.
I know you like your Mexican style snacks and things. Do you like Mexican street corn?
I do. The best way to eat street corn
Yeah.
is called toste esquites,
Okay.
where you take a bag of like Doritos or Tostitos, rip it open, dump corn into it, and then some cream and some chili pepper and stuff.
Okay.
And just eat it out of the bag with
Feels
the
like
chips.
it would make the chips soggy.
It kind of does.
I don't like soggy chips.
It's okay.
I do like Mexican street corn.
This is not bad.
For me, it's definitely above the hot sauce. I don't know if it's above regular pretzel for me because it makes me just want to have Mexican street corn. But so it's second from the bottom, but it's a long jump from that to the hot sauce for me.
Okay. I don't know where to put it.
So does it taste like Mexican street corn? Is that the
It kind of does.
I was gonna say,
Did you
'cause
try one?
I did. And I was like, it feels like a vessel for a version of Mexican street corn. Does that mean it's good or bad?
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is
That's because why I'm putting it lower is I'd rather just have the street corn.
right. I'm kind of the same boat. To be
But
honest.
it's not easy to get a hold of Mexican street corn. You know,
Good
you can
point.
keep this in your pantry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very torn. I'm gonna put it Also second from the bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I think I like the cinnamon sugar more.
And the ranch is at your bottom. so
Yeah,
far.
ranch is up. That one, it just doesn't really taste like much.
Smoked Gouda.
Ooh, another cheese.
Yep.
Smoked Gouda.
Oh.
That has a nice flavor to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it's definitely smoked instead of just Gouda.
I'm going to put this second from the top right under beer cheese. I like this a little better than the Parmesan and a little better than the ranch.
I think this is slightly better for me than
Yeah,
beer
I'm
cheese.
going to put it above the beer cheese.
Yeah.
Is it better than mustard? You should try another mustard, Dan.
Yeah.
And
I gotta compare.
do your final taste test before the birthday cake one.
This is the one I'm most excited about.
No, mustard's still my favorite.
Okay.
But smoked Gouda is second from the top.
So, I think in some ways they know their audience because this is the giant bag. So people must like this one. And this was full. It is now down to about 1/3. My kids have just been going to town on this one. I had to like fend them off in order to make sure that we had a chance to actually have the birthday cake.
Are they just, is it a powder like the rest of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was imagining when I saw the
Yeah.
big pink bag, I was imagining like those frosted animal crackers or something.
And I already know where I'm rating this one.
This is my least favorite one.
Yeah, this one's awful.
By a lot.
Yep. I would rather have the hot sauce ones, and I didn't particularly like the hot sauce ones. This is just gross. And that's I said, they know their audience. The grosser a food is, it feels like the more my kids will like it until they like hit that age where they like start eating like a normal person. Mm-hmm. Right? Like we go to the ice cream shop and two of them still look through to find the grossest looking ice cream.
Yeah.
And order that. Like they can visually tell
The most neon color.
this is the one that they've made for me with twice the sugar and the weirdest flavors.
Yeah.
And so that's it's not I think a condemnation of them in that my kids have eaten 3/4 of that bag, but that is dead last for me. I got 2 of them here, and I'm not going to eat them. I shouldn't have pulled
I'll
that
steal
many
them.
out. You like him? Oh,
Yeah.
you're still kind of a kid.
He's
Yeah, that's my
still Gen Z. He likes
Yeah.
the birthday
It's
cake.
a sweet tooth thing. I just have such a big sweet tooth.
Like the cinnamon sugar ones are so much better than those.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's
It's
fair.
not
crazy.
even a contest. So
I think I'm moving street corn above cinnamon sugar.
okay.
The street corn is throwing me off because I don't know where to put it.
So, yeah, these guys, they didn't, sponsor or pay for this, but they did send me a bunch of pretzels. So,
What was
as
their
we've
name?
talked about, we're easily bribable by sending us stuff. And they're good.
We should say for anyone who wants to sample these,
Yeah.
it is Pop Daddy Pretzels.
Pop Daddy Pretzels for those
Is
who
the
are
brand.
listening in or, yeah.
Definitely get the mustard and the smoked Gouda. They are the best ones.
Yeah, I would, my favorite, like this, you can't go wrong with the beer cheese either. And a sweet tooth, I would definitely say get the cinnamon sugar over the birthday cake. Unless, how old are you, Donald?
25.
Unless you're 25 or under, in which case you may want to get the birthday cake one because for some weird reason. It's happened to me as a kid. Like I used to eat Miracle Whip on everything.
Ooh,
And Miracle Whip is just nasty, right?
yeah.
And for those who maybe don't know what Miracle Whip is because you live in a different part of the world,
Yeah.
it's
It's like mayonnaise with some herbs in it.
mayonnaise with sugar.
Is it sugar?
It's sugar. There might be herbs too, but the main extra ingredient is it's sweet mayonnaise.
Do you remember the Miracle Whip commercials from like 10 years ago when they were really trying to look edgy and cool?
No.
And it was
I wasn't
like,
watching TV then.
you are too cool for mayonnaise. And then they show the hippest teenager you've ever seen eating Miracle Whip on something like
Okay.
a badass.
Maybe there's like other stuff in it. I remember it being sweet. I remember the age where I ate a sandwich on it and I was like older teens, and I'm like, wow, this is gross. And then I ate a sandwich with mayo. I'm like, oh, I like mayo now. And I hated mayo when I was a kid. I had to have Miracle Whip on things. So there you are.
Now you know.
Magical transformation happened. And now kids get these funfetti birthday cakes that I just cannot take. Like, even when it's birthday time, they want these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember very specifically being in college, and I'd eaten like Lucky Charms for breakfast, some really sugary cereal. Yeah. This was post-mission, so I was like 21, and just for whatever reason, that was like the switch. And I'm like, nope, this is gross. I'm done with sugar.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been, I'll still eat it, but it's not what I seek out.
I had that switch for this, and it was there's something else that correlated with it. Piers Anthony books.
Oh.
Changing from fun, whimsical adventures to creepy happened like, I turned 18, I started reading one, I'm like, ugh. And you can find online that same thing happening to a ton of us from our generation that read these Piers Anthony novels and then had a magic moment where we realized this feels creepy.
This is really gross.
Did that happen to you? Did you ever read those?
I've actually never read a Piers Anthony novel.
He's still around. He still posts on his blog. He's in his 90s, I think.
Yeah. Wow. Didn't he just put out a new book?
He's regularly putting out new books.
Yeah.
So
I remember seeing something about a new Piers Anthony.
Well, we will take these to writing group tonight, and so Ben will get to try them.
Yay, Ben. We'll give you the gross ones.
All the birthday cake that you want to eat.